Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Myself Sajjan Pradhan, Assistant Professor, Gargi Memorial Institute of Technology. In today's class, we will discuss about how Newton-Raphson method can be implemented to calculate the load flow analysis. In the previous class, we have discussed about the basics of Newton-Raphson methods for calculating the nonlinear equations. In the previous class, we have seen that a formula for solving the nonlinear equations with the help of Newton-Raphson method. In that formula or in that method, first of all, we have to assume a solution, initial solution, and that solution is putted or substituted in the different nonlinear equations. With the help of that means the inexact solution, we will find the errors that is due to the initial solution or assumed initial solution, and that error is updated in the next iteration. In this way, we will calculate the total in different iteration. We will solve the that nonlinear equations. Here, these are described in the previous class. In today's class, this Newton-Raphson method will be used to calculate the load flow analysis. First of all, we have to assume the initial solution. So for PQ bus, the specified data is, or already we know that specified data is P and Q. Here unknown parameter is mod V and delta. So for PQ bus, we have to assume mod V and delta as a initial solution, whereas for PV bus, specified data is P and mod V, and the unknown parameter is Q and delta. Here Q and delta are unknown, but we will assume only delta as a initial solution, because Q generally is not specified for this type of bus. If the Q is specified, or if the range of Q is given for particular bus Qi, it should be minimum or less than Qi max, and should be greater than Qi min. In that situation, we have to assume also Q also. But in if the Q is that means the limit of Q is not given, then just we have to assume delta, and we will calculate P and Q. Now, with the help of these assumed values, initial values, we will calculate P and Q. That means Pi and Qi, for that means for all buses except slack bus. That means I will be varies from 2 to n, where n indicates the number of bus. Now this Pi and Qi will be calculated with the help of SLFE equation, that is static load flow equation. That was, what is Pi? Pi as per SLFE equation that was already described in the some previous class. So Pi will be, as we know, this is mod Vi into summation of k equals to 1 to n mod Vk into mod Yik into cos theta ik plus delta k minus delta I, and Qi was minus of mod Vi summation of k equals to 1 to n, and this was mod Vk into Yik into sin theta ik plus delta k minus delta I. That was the equation of SLFE, that is static load flow equations. So here we will calculate this Pi and Qi with the help of assumed values of V and delta. So in this way we will calculate easily Pi and Qi. So after calculating this Pi and Qi, we will find the errors, that is errors in assumed values, that means delta V and delta del I, that means the for a particular bus I. So as seen in the previous class, in the generalized form of Newton-Raphson method was delta F equals to J into delta X, where delta F indicates the difference between the values, which is here known as power mismatch. Because here delta F is nothing but the difference between powers, that means the specified power and the calculated power from this assumed values, and delta X is the correction factor. In this way, and this is the Jacobian matrix, and which is the partial differentiation equations of the partial differentiation. So if we find with the help of this equation, we will find the correction factor and then update that correction factor, that means we have to update V and delta in the next iteration, that is, and that will be used in the next iteration. So now start the whole algorithm that is used for Newton-Raphson method. the algorithm. Algorithm that is used for Newton-Raphson method. The first step, step 1. First of all, we have to find the Y bus, that is, so form Y bus matrix. The next step, and these elements of the Y bus matrix will be used for calculating the Pi and Qi. Next step, we have to identify the PV bus and PQ bus. So, since the slack bus voltage is assumed or fixed as V1 and delta 1. So, this is the voltage and angle of slack bus. So, for PQ bus, that means for all PQ buses, for all PQ buses, as we have seen in the previous slide, for PQ bus unknown is voltage and delta, that is the angle of the voltage. So for all PQ bus we have to assume mod V and its angle. For all PV buses we have to assume delta. In the absence of any information, that is, flat voltage start is recommended. That means if voltage is not given, so we have to assume. If the slack bus voltage is not given, then in that situation we have to assume the 1 per unit voltage of the slack bus and start from the assuming the same voltage throughout the buses. Now step 3. With the help of these assumed values, we will calculate Pi and Qi for all iterations. In the initial case, let us assume that the iteration number is 0. So for initial condition, this will be Pi 0 and Qi 0. But in generalized form, if this is the iteration number, if for rth iteration, just assume that for rth iteration, we have to calculate Pi r and Qi r with the help of SLFE equation that is mentioned just earlier. So after calculating PIR and QIR, in the fourth step we have to calculate the power mismatch or errors due to that assumed values. So we have to find delta pi for rth iteration, delta pir and delta qir. What is delta pir? How it can be calculated? Delta pir will be equals to pi that is specified minus pir that is which is calculated from these values, and in similar way this will be delta qir will be qi specified minus qir. That means this difference, that is delta pir and delta qir, will be calculated for all buses except slack bus. So now the fifth step. If we know and if we have calculated this delta pi and delta qir, so now we have to find the Jacobian matrix. How this Jacobian matrix will be considered or find, we will discuss this in the next class, or with the help of any example. So we have to find the Jacobian matrix. Now step 6, since we know Jacobian matrix and power mismatch, so with the help of equation, that is delta f equals to Jacobian matrix into delta x. Here delta f is delta f will be delta p ir and delta q ir. This will be Jacobian matrix, and here delta x will be what? Delta x, that is the unknown or correction factor or unknown parameter. So here delta x will be for pi, that means here for PV bus also we have calculated P, and for PQ bus we have also calculated P. So for Pi, since delta is common, and that means delta is a known variable which is common for both PQ and PV buses. So mod or delta is used for both PQ and PV bus, and delta V, mod of delta V will be used for only PQ bus. Now here also in the step 4, this portion, that is delta Pi, will be calculated for all PQ and PV buses, for all PQ and PV bus, whereas delta Q will be calculated for PQ bus only, for PQ bus only, as we have described here. So that's why delta delta, and that is the unknown values for all PQ and PV buses. So delta delta will be in the upward in this position, and delta V will be in the position of delta Q. So in this way, with the help of this equation, we have to calculate the correction factor, that is delta X. Here delta delta and delta mod V. So if we know this correction factor, that is the error, so it will be updated in the next step. Now step 7. As we have calculated, that means we have calculated delta delta and delta V, that is the error, which will be updated in the next iteration. So for the next iteration, the updated value of voltage, that is mod Vi for R plus 1th iteration, that is the for next iteration, this will be equals to mod Vi R, that is the previous value, plus the correction factor or the error, that is delta mod Vi R. And similarly for delta I for R plus 1th iteration, that is for next iteration, it will be previous values, sorry, this is not modulus, delta I R plus error between error of delta I R. So these corrected values will be used for in the next iteration. Before performing the next iteration, we have to check the solution, is it within the prescribed tolerance, that means the solution, or not. So in the next iteration, we have to find delta Pi, or already we have calculated this one, delta PIR and delta QIR. So these value have to be checked. So if delta PIR is within the prescribed tolerance value, that is epsilon, and that is it is mentioned in the problem, or we have to assume any small numbers delta epsilon, as well as we have to check delta QIR is within the tolerance limit or not. If this is within the tolerance limit, then in the 9th step, print the result and calculate the print result and calculate calculate the line flow and the loss of the system. Now, if this is within the tolerance limit, then it will be okay. Otherwise, sorry, so in the eighth step, so if this is within the limit, that is, then go to step 9. Otherwise with the help of this updated value, calculate the same step, that is the go to step 3. Otherwise go to step 3. And end. That means now again I am repeating this all the algorithm. First we have to calculate Y bus, then we have to assume the unknown, that is delta V and delta for all PQ bus, and for all PV bus we have to assume delta with any initial values, that is close to slack bus. Then in the next step calculate Pi and Qi for rth iteration, that is PIR and QIR. In the next step we have to find the errors due to that assumed values, that is delta PIR and delta QIR. This is the power mismatch with the help of these equations. Now form Jacobian matrix, and with the help of Jacobian matrix and the power mismatch, we will have to find this parameter, that is the correction factor, that means delta delta and delta V. Now the updated value of, for the next iteration, the updated value of delta delta and delta V will be like this. Now if power mismatch is within the tolerance limit, then go to step 9 and print the results. Otherwise, if the power mismatch is not within the tolerance limit, then we have to again perform that iteration with the help of these corrected values. So again we have to start the same steps, that is from the 3 for the next iteration, that is R plus 1th iteration, and again this iteration will be continued till the tolerance limit is within the prescribed, that is the power mismatch is in the within the prescribed limit. This is the complete algorithm of Newton-Raphson method for calculating the load flow analysis problem. Now in this algorithm we have to note one points. For PV bus or for all PV buses, we have assumed delta and there is no need to calculate the Q for normal case. If for any system, if Q limit is given, which is already we have discussed in this same video, if the q limit is within the specified, then in that situation we have to calculate q. So in that situation, if the q limit, if the calculated values of q is within the limit, then it's okay. That means note 1, if this is for PV bus, for PV bus only, if q limit is, or q value, q is within its limit, sorry, if q is within its limit, then it's okay, no problem. No problem. If q is not within the limits, that is, if q is out of the limit, in that situation we have to fix the q to that particular limit. Like, assume that if calculated value of QIR for any particular iteration is less than QI mean or QI mean minimum, if the q calculated value of QI is less than the minimum value, in that situation we have to fix this QIR equals to QI mean. Or if QIR is greater than QI max, then we have to fix this QIR equals to QI max, and then treat this PV bus or convert this PV bus similar to PQ bus, because here also we have assumed this QIR to a particular fixed value. So q is fixed, specified for, or we have specified that q. That's why we have to assume this PV bus as a PQ bus and perform the next iteration. In the similar way, for PQ bus only, in the similar way, if voltage limit is given for any PQ bus, then we have to check again the voltage of the system, and then if the limit is within the if the voltage is within the limit, then no problem. If the limit violates, then in the similar way we have to fix the voltage to particular limit and then perform this system, that is this PQ bus, and treat this PQ bus as a PV bus, because here we have fixed the voltage. But this portion is normally generally used only for in the computer programming, because for all in the manual way it is very difficult to calculate all the times q and v and check all the limits. So in the computer programming we have to fix this condition as well. We have to set this condition also. So this is the process, that is the algorithm or steps with the help so for calculating the load flow analysis with the help of Newton-Raphson method. In the next class we will see an example how this with the help of Newton-Raphson method how the problem is to be solved or how the Jacobian matrix is formed. One thing I have forgotten to mention, the size of the Jacobian matrix. In this algorithm, see, let us assume that a system, just assume a system which has 6 number of bus, 6 bus system. Among these 6 bus, obviously bus number 1 will be slack bus. Let us assume that 3 number of PQ buses are in the system. So, and 2 numbers of PV buses. So, since there are 3 numbers of PQ buses, so the unknown variables for all PQ bus, as we have seen in this slide, for all PQ buses we have to assume V and delta. So in this way the unknowns are three unknowns for mod V and 3 unknowns for delta. Here for PV bus only we have to assume delta, so 2 unknown for delta. So there are 5 numbers of delta, 5 variables for delta and 3 variables for mod V. This is 5 and this is 3. So in the left hand side of that Jacobian matrix, that is see here, according to this step, in the right hand side, the matrix size, that is the correction factor, the matrix size will be 5 numbers for delta, that is delta 1, delta 2, and in the similar way delta 5 numbers for delta and 3 numbers for voltage, that is delta of mod V 1 and delta of mod V 3. So the matrix size will be 8 cross 1. So in this way this is the 8 cross 1 matrix, and in similarly left hand side will be also in 8 cross 1 matrix. So the Jacobian size of the Jacobian matrix will be 8 cross 8. This is 8 cross 1, this is 8 cross 1. So 8 cross 8 the size of Jacobian matrix for this one will be 8 cross 8. In this way we have to find the size of the Jacobian matrix. That means for PQ bus, how, first of all, if for any question it is given that 6 bus system, there are 3 PQ bus and 2 PV bus, then first of all we have to find the number of PQ bus and number of PV bus, and then find the unknowns and then add them. That will be the size of Jacobian matrix. Now thanks for today's. In the next class we will see an example for how this is calculated with the help of Newton-Raphson method. Thank you for today. Be safe. Thank you all.